twilight phenomenon next Oprah.
Coming up on Daytime, Lindsay talks to a country music legend.
I came here in 1967 with the clutch out of my car and a $20 bill in my pocket, you know, and this town has been very good to me.
And Dave makes a day of drive-thrus. Daytime. Ladies from the Red Hat Society are visiting us
Welcome,
today.
ladies.
Nice
So good to have you here.
Wave to your
You're all on
families.
TV. All right, there we go.
Wonderful to have an audience.
80-something million households. You just
How many of you have had your flu shot? Any of you?
Check out Daytime's website at daytimeonline.tv.
Welcome back to Daytime, everyone. Do you know how important lizards and amphibians are to our natural ecosystems?
Very. They provide life-saving medicines and help keep crop-killing pests at bay. And here to tell us more about that is Educational Director, or actually Kelly Diedring Harris. And what's your title? I'm sorry.
I am an environmental educator.
Environmental educator.
Yeah, and all of our friends here are from Nature's Classroom. They are they're education animals, believe it or not. So everybody, get out your amphibian and your lizard.
Get out your amphibian. You folks at home, follow along.
All of a sudden, you're going to be getting out the bufo toad. Now, most people have seen those in their backyards. They're not a native species, and they do have toxins. You certainly, if your dog or cat grabs one of those, you want to pull it out of their mouth immediately. You're holding a southern toad.
I am?
He's hopping. Yep, and I've got a little leopard gecko here. So a lot of people are afraid of these animals. Do you know anybody that goes, ew, when they see a frog or a toad?
My husband.
My husband, too. Oh, no, I just said that just to say it.
Just kidding, Colin.
But these animals are actually very important to not only the environment, but they could potentially be very important for humans. So let's talk about each one of them.
Okay.
The southern toad, the one you've got that's hopping around over there.
The one I have. He's very active.
Aren't they beautiful?
And he has a drawl.
Yeah, he's got an accent. Those are found in the southeastern United States, and they eat lots and lots of bugs. So people who are afraid of frogs or lizards, you want to keep in mind that if they weren't in your backyards, you would be eaten alive by mosquitoes and other bugs.
Really?
They're very important to the natural environment. This is a bufo toad. It's also called a marine toad. Oh, there goes the toad.
There goes Dave.
It's also called a marine toad or a cane toad, and those are non-native, and they can be a problem. They were initially released into Florida, into Australia, into the Caribbean countries to eat the rodents out of the sugarcane fields. That's why they get that name, the cane toad. But unfortunately, they also eat native frogs, native lizards, and so they've been quite detrimental to Florida ecosystems, to the Australian ecosystems.
And if your animal bites down on this,
they have toxins. All amphibians have a toxin, but these guys are potentially very potent.
What if they just lick it?
It's probably not a great idea.
Okay.
I don't think
want to
he's very
lick the
happy.
toad. He's hanging out. You know, he's a little nervous. It's the first time on TV for him. But they do have a toxin. It's a white milky substance. If your dog gets a hold of them, dogs like to, you want to make sure your dog goes to the veterinarian right away. It can kill them.
When my dog bites down on any kind of toad or frog, it gets a white substance in its mouth.
Does that happen often?
It does. All amphibians, believe it or not, and a lot of lizards have a toxin in their skins that is very bad for them. So if they eat any kind of amphibian or a reptile or anything really, you want to make sure that they see the vet.
Really? That happens on a daily basis. It gets the old froth
It gets
mouth?
foamy. Well,
Yeah.
he's probably releasing the toad before anything happens. He's
Okay,
probably
good.
realizing, and that's a defense mechanism for these critters. This guy is a gecko. They're from Asia. This big, giant animal.
This
He is
guy's
so
gorgeous.
neat, but apparently he's a little bit mean, so we didn't want to get him out of there. But they're great for the environment as well. But what all of these animals have in common is that most of them are non-native here in Florida and across the United States. The bufo is native to Texas, but they live all over the United States, and they aren't good for the environment. People purchase them as pets, so believe it or not, people have these animals as pets, and then they release them if they can't care for them.
Not a
and
good
unfortunately,
idea.
don't want to do do that.
So don't get any of these as pets? Is that what you really recommend?
You know, I don't want to say for them not to. I want to say if you get a pet that's not a dog or a cat, you want to do your homework. They all need special temperature requirements, light requirements. You got to handle bugs. You have to feed crickets to them. A lot of people don't want to do that.
And don't release them to the wild if you can't handle it.
So much fun to have you here.
Thank you. It's so much fun to be here.
The coolest animals.
The critters.
Diedring Harris, thank you so much. I'm kind of attached to this little
You're fond
guy.
of him, are you?
I am.
Just don't lick him.
No, I won't.
Still ahead.
Worried about your kids?
Well, parenting does not have to be the big hassle. A lot of us make it. We will talk to a parenting expert and the author of I'm Doing the Best I Can.
That's coming up next.
Power of Viper Radar